Hi, sixth graders. I hope you're doing well. Please remember with the sub today to be respectful and responsible while you are there, and welcome the substitute to our classroom. So, what we are going to be focusing on today is three things: how to go from a fraction to a decimal, how to go from a decimal to a percent, and how to go from a percent to a fraction. So today we'll focus on one way for each of these, and then I will show you how to use that one way in the table on the right. Now this is going to be the next part of our unit, so we're getting a little bit of a preview here, and then after this video you will go and you will try the Desmos activity. So for our day, what we are going to do for the fraction to decimal is we are going to take our numerator and we are going to divide it by our denominator. So basically we are going to just divide our fraction, and that is going to give us our answer as a decimal. So if we look at the first problem in the table, 1/4, if we did 1 divided by 4, just do this really quick, 1 divided by 4, we would get decimal of 25/100ths. All right, the next thing we're going to look at is how to go from a decimal to percent. And so to go from a decimal to a percent, what we are going to do is we are going to swing the decimal point 2 places to the right. Now the reason we do this is because we are multiplying our decimal by 100, and since 100 has 2 zeros in, that's going to move it 2 to the right. So again, that table on the right, our first example, we have 25/100ths. You multiply that by 100, it swings the decimal places to the right, and you get 25%. And the final thing, to go from a percent to a fraction, we just put our percent over 100. So if we look at the third line on the table on the right, 50%, we would put 50 over 100. And then simplify that. 50 divided by 100 is equal to 1/2. So if we look at the examples in the table, the next line we have 1/10 as a decimal point. If I swing that decimal to the right to multiply it by 100, it becomes 10%. And 10 over 100, we can divide both by 10 to simplify it. So 10 divided by 10 is 1, And 100 divided by 10 is 10. So it's 1/10. Again, there are other strategies that we could use as well. If we look at the decimal point, the 1 is in the tenths place value, so that tells us 1/10. It's a strategy that we were using last week. Or to go from a percentage to a decimal, like in the third row, if we swing it 2 to the right because we multiply it by 100 to go from a decimal to a percentage, we would do the opposite and we'd swing it to the left or divide by 100. So if I move this to the left, it becomes 5/10. All right, go ahead and pause this and then take out a piece of paper and see if you can fill in the missing boxes in the last or the bottom 5 rows. All right, if we have 3/4, 3 divided by 4 is 75 hundredths. There are also certain decimals and fractions and percents that we call benchmarks, and 3/4 is one that we eventually are going to have memorized if we don't already. To go from this decimal to percentage, again, we're going to multiply it by 100, which swings the decimal to the right. And 3/4 is equivalent to 75%. So for the percentages, I'm going to put 20 over 100, which is equal to 1/5. Also divide it by 100 or swing it to the 2 to the left, and that is equal to 2/10. For the bottom next row, if I would say this correctly, I'd say 3/10, which means that's also the fraction. And if I move it 2 to the right or multiply it by 100, I get 30%. This one is 9/10. Multiply that by 100 and you get 90%. The final problem, 60% is equal to 6/10. And 6/10 is equal to 3/5. Hopefully your answers match up with what I have on the table. If you then go to the Google slide presentation and click on your hour for the Desmos activity, you are going to try this DesFarm activity builder. So the first thing you are going to do is you are going to move the 2 circles either up and down or left and right to make your field how you want to. And then once you have that, you'll hit next. And what your goal is to create a fraction or the part to the whole for what each section is. So the orange flowers, 2, 3, 4, 5 across, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So the parts is we have 25 orange flowers, and the whole is the 100 boxes we have for the entire thing. And for the purple, I have 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2. Well, 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 5 is 10, 14, 18 out of 100. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 100 for the final row. And you are going to be doing that for the rest of the activity and also converting decimals to fractions to percents like we watched in the video. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments section in today's notes. And I am excited to see you guys back in the classroom tomorrow. Hope you have a great day.